David here, and I have always been skeptical. I didn't think there was a heaven or hell for 47 years. Spirituality and religion seemed to me to be for the weak. Live, die, and that was it. I thought I had it all worked out. Divine intervention and paranormal nonsense non-existent. All there was rough, icy ground. But a couple of years ago, something happened to me that rocked my world, and I felt obligated to tell my tale. I was at home watching mindless TV while sipping a drink on my couch. Having experienced a demanding day at work, I was relishing the break. It was this sharp aching in my chest. Someone had stabbed me squarely in the heart. Seized my chest, glanced over to my wife, struggled for air, and then everything went black. Once more opening my eyes, I was not in my living room. I was standing somewhere smoky and dark. Sulfur hung heavy in the air, and it was too hot. I could hear screaming everywhere, an unending chorus of pain. Turned to see lakes of fire and tormented souls writhing. I was in hell. It struck me like a ton of bricks. I was first incredulous. What the hell? True, what sort of crap is this? I dismissed it as a vivid nightmare. Everything, though, felt so real. The screaming, the heat, the scent. I was ridiculously afraid. Then I heard a harsh, threatening voice behind me. "To your new home," it stated. I whirled to face him. Huge, with pointed horns, dark, leathery wings, and eyes that seemed to glow from within. He was enormous. He was terrible to be around. "You are who?" "Even so," I stammered. He said, "My name is Baal," his voice full of hatred. "I am one of the doomed overseen by demons." What I was hearing I could not believe. "Still, I don't belong here. Hardly think this rubbish is real." Laughing mockingly, Baal said, "We are aware of that, and for just that reason you are here." Stepping closer, his eyes drilling into mine, he added, mockingly, "You spent your whole life denying the existence of anything beyond your own pathetic existence. I take it you believe you understood everything. As it happens, guess, you got it wrong." Turned to move away, but there was nowhere to go. "There is no way this is real, not feasible." Grinning, Baal said, "Yes, that is quite real, and you will pay for your conceit and incredulity here for all of eternity." Even in this heat, I had a chill run down my spine. But there must be a mistake somewhere. I was a decent guy. Simply spoken, none of this made sense to me. "Powerful thing is belief," Baal replied, his voice icy and judgmental. "Your unbelief got you here. See what that gets you now." Baal snatched me up, or more accurately, my soul, and hauled me over the brink of a burning pit. I'd never felt anything like it. It seemed like my whole being was being ripped apart. "Check around you," he growled. "Your new reality is this one. Your unbelief has earned you this." Tumbled into the flames after he flung me into the pit. It was so hot that I could feel my whole being scorching. The screams of the innumerable other souls screaming in pain around me drowned out my own. Fury gleamed in Baal's eyes as he hovered above the pit. "You believed you were very wise and educate. Still, you were an idiot. You will now pay for your conceit." My spirit was scorched, and I felt excruciating agony. There was nowhere to go, much as I wanted to go. Time appeared to go on forever, and the suffering was unrelenting. About me, I could see other spirits, each imprisoned in their own suffering. Grotesque beasts were tearing some apart, and others were drowning in scorching waters. Their shouts, each a monument to their agony, filled the air. I was one of the depressing chorus. More suffering greeted every attempt to move in an attempt to find some relief from the anguish. Every step I took burned the molten earth beneath me. Though it was in vain, I attempted to protect myself from the flames. Everywhere was the heat, a continual reminder of my damnation. Baal watched with a savage delight, his laughing blending with the damned screams. "Hello to hell," he grinned sinisterly. Acclimate to it. You are destined for this. Everything had been wrong, I realized. I had denied throughout my whole life that there was anything outside of the material world, and now I was imprisoned in an unfathomable hell. It had escaped my notice. A continual reminder of my impending doom was the moans of the condemned. I could see their eyes, hopeless, and their faces contorted with pain. Like me, they were all souls who had rejected that anything existed outside of their own self-serving ambitions. Hopelessness swept over me. This nightmare had no way to end, no escape. I was destined to live in this hell for all time. Meaning of time vanished. Hours seemed like days and seconds like hours. Was losing myself, and the suffering was never ending. The ongoing ache jumbled my thoughts into fragments. Anguish, unending anguish, was all I could think about. I had an odd feeling, as though I was being dragged away from the heat and the flames, just when I thought I could bear it no longer. Once more everything turned black. I was lying in a hospital bed when I woke. The heart monitor beeped steadily the first thing I heard, even though I had tubes and cables attached to me. "You're lucky to be alive," the physician declared. "Your heart attack was a widowmaker. Your blood vessels were 80% clogged." Laid there trying to make sense of all that had transpired. Was everything perhaps a hallucination? A dream spurred on by my brain not getting enough oxygen. Still, everything had seemed so genuine. This is a bot check. If you hear this on any other channel, do report it to Heaven Awaits. Nobody other is allowed to share this experience. To the one that steals this, quit stealing and quit narrating with an AI. I was plagued with visions and feelings of hell and bale for the following few days. That spooked me. I experienced 3 months of non-stop nightmares every night. Despite all of this, though, I never became religious. I could never force myself to accept any one God or adhere to any one faith. What I had gone through, nevertheless, could not dispute. Life began to seem strange to me. I started to think that life might consist of more than what we see. Stopped making fun of folks' beliefs. As I began to listen, I sought to learn what comforted and encouraged them. You might say, I become a little more spiritual. Though not religious, I am more receptive to the notion that there is more to life than this one. To write off that encounter in hell, seeing Baal, experiencing the heat, hearing the screams, it all seemed too genuine. I have heard reports and seen videos that essentially verify things are true. It got me to thinking about how I had lived my life, always so certain of my own opinions and so quick to write off other people. I listen now every time someone talks about their spiritual experiences or faith. Neither do I roll my eyes nor scoff. I appreciate their views even though I may not share them. Who am I to assert what is and is not real? Now, I don't know everything, and I'm still not sure what occurs when we pass away. I am, however, less convinced about the emptiness I used to believe in. Perhaps both this life and the next are more complex than our comprehension. And maybe, just maybe, it's worthwhile to take into account that we don't know everything. That wraps up our adventure today. Eagerly anticipate reading the comments posted below. Up until then, be careful and keep getting blessed. I want to mention before I wrap up this video that I will be revealing some fantastic news sometime next week.